Do you have a Toyota? This video may save you money, make your vehicle safer, or solve a problem, especially if you have any of the following 8 models. Toyota Pickup 1985 to 98, 4Runner 85 to 02, Camry 83 to 88, Tacoma 95 to 04, Celica 86 to 89, MR2 85 to 89, a Cressida 84 to 88, or the Supra 1986 to 1998. Be sure to watch till the end for a very important safety warning. Does your Toyota have any of the following problems? It won't go all the way into gear or park. The shifter is sloppy or wobbly. It slips out of gear. You can't get the key out of the ignition. Customer says, it won't go into neutral and it won't go into reverse. My friend is going to get me a new transmission. Oh, no, 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 no. So I'm going to show you not only how you don't need a new transmission, but I'm going to show you a really easy and really super cheap way to fix a lot of these problems. What I'm noticing first off is the shifter's very loose. Very common problem. Even if your shifter looks different than this, keep watching because the part inside that's causing your problems is the same on various Toyota models. Remove any covers so that you can get to the shifter. Next, we're going to remove the automatic transmission shift cover plate.
Oh, you mean the Prundle thing?
Yes, that. Now these 4 screws are going to have to come out, but the cover is not going anywhere until you undo this wiring harness. Push the wire down from the top clip, go over the lower clip, and then push down again. Unscrew your 4 screws. Once the wiring harness is off and the screws are out, this will lift up. That's going to expose the actual shifter mechanism, and it's going to be these 10 millimeters that you're going to need to remove to get to the bushings.
Stop. Disconnecting the shift linkage could take your vehicle out of park, allowing it to roll. You must have the vehicle secured, parking brake applied, and wheels blocked.
Remove all the bolts holding the shifter in. It's okay if your covers didn't look the same as these. The important thing is to be able to get this shifter out so that we can get to the bushings inside, which is what's going to solve your problem. There's one more important part before we can get this thing out of here. Yep, that's daylight you see down there. There's only one 12 millimeter nut standing between you and having that shifter out. The shifter has a flat bar hanging down and that attaches to the shift linkage rod. You might be able to get it from inside, but more than likely you're going to need to get under the vehicle to disconnect that rod. Remove this connector and the whole shifter comes out. You are getting so close to the pot of gold. Your next obstacle is this rubber boot on the bottom. The bolt you're looking for is right underneath this rubber obstruction, so it's got to come off. In each corner, there's a little round metal spacer. They're easy to remove, just push them through. Once you have the metal spacers out, just pry the rubber boot out of each hole. Just be careful not to poke through the rubber with something sharp since it could be old and brittle. It's not hard to remove, it's not glued in or anything, but this is easier if you put it in a bench vise instead. Of course, you don't want to crank this down too tight because you don't want to deform the plate. There might be 1 or 2 of these, but find the long bolt with a 12 millimeter nut on the end and remove. Nut, lock washer. Okay. Once you have the nut and the lock washer off, you slide the bolt out. That is supposed to be a bushing. Should be one on each side, but after so many years, they're just like dust, like non-existent anymore. So clean out the old junk that used to be a bushing at one point, and we're going to stick our new bushings in there. Let's do a quick cleanup on that. That looks like it felt really good. Do it to me too. The new bushings are pretty easy to find, but to make it even easier, the fixer of all things put a link right in the description, right under the video. Putting them in, pretty straightforward. Just push them in. That's it. Flip it over. the other one in. Now that you have the bushing in there, the question is, do I put lithium grease on there or not? Who says yes? Who says no? If you said yes, a lot of videos tell you to do that. No, that is wrong. Lithium grease is a petroleum product. It'll break down the plastic quicker. Nothing spinning at 500 RPMs. You don't need grease in here. The bushing is enough. Now, as you've been fiddling around with this, the shifter's moved around. Of course, you got to make sure that the pin has to go back in the right spot, because otherwise your drive isn't going to be drive and neutral's not going to be neutral. So assuming you took it apart in park, the pin is going to go in the tallest slot, which is also the one furthest to the front. Where it is a good idea to use some lithium grease is right in here, because that's where the pin goes through the different gears. And bushings, get everything to line up, and put your bolt back in. Once you get the bolt back in there, go ahead and push that through. Here's the other side. Of course, you have to make sure that the bushing didn't get pushed through. The factory always recommends using a brand new lock washer. This is our 12 millimeter. Tighten that puppy down. Whoa, hold on, there's more. But if you found this video helpful or funny, you can hit the subscribe button without losing your place in the video. I appreciate every one of your likes, shares, comments, and every one of my subscribers. Thanks. Work each one of the little rubber grommets back in the hole. A flat blade screwdriver works pretty good. Just, be careful. You don't want to push too hard.
Don't forget to reinstall the little round metal spacers. If you don't remember to reinstall the spacers, tightening the bolts will cause the rubber grommets to squish out, kind of like stepping on a fresh cow pie, barefoot.
Put all 4 of your bolts back in. Be sure to reattach the shift linkage rod.
Yeah, the bottom of the prundle thing.
Yeah, that.
And most importantly, it's got to go back in the same spot, or else your shifting is going to be out of adjustment. Just look at the mark where you took it off. And just like Mom told you when you were little, put everything back where you found it. So put your 4 screws back in. I'm not going to show you because that's redundant and your time is valuable. Okay, so what's important and what's not important? I don't think it's important to show you how to put all the plastic panels back in. You took them off, you should be able to put them back in. What is most important? 2 things. 1, I'm just a guy who likes to tinker, and people find my videos very helpful. Am I an ASE certified mechanic? No. Do you want to take this as absolute law of how to do something? No, this is in your own hands. I'm just helping you, guide you along. But don't take this as expert advice. If you do this wrong because you're not qualified and then you crash into something, not my fault. The main thing is, let's check this thing. We've got to make sure that it goes through all the gears, make sure there's nothing behind you, make sure there's nothing in front of you.
Be sure the vehicle is secured from rolling. Then remove the blocks from the wheels.
Let's check it out. Foot on the brake. So, if we did this right, backwards should be backwards. And forward should be forward. Needed a new transmission? Nope. Just needed to watch The Fixer of all things.